Heyo! Good day, everybody, and welcome. It is Jodi Day. Every Saturday and Tuesday, 6 p.m. Swedish time, noon Eastern time, and then, well, whatever time zone you are in are here. Dave is preoccupied today, so it will be me and guest. And that guest is... Hi, Chandler.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
I'm tiny bit hungover, but I'm okay.
Well, I'm glad to see that you're alive. I heard that you guys raised a lot of money for Zach last night.
Yeah, in grand total, we got from... we went from 27,399, and when I woke up this morning, it said $30,015.
Yes!
So
we did it!
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, and my liver thanks you all for keeping it at work. Yeah. What is it? Dave is hiding from Flux. Yeah. If Flux is going for you, you better hide. Yeah. Well, Chandler, how much have you seen of the Jodi Arias trial?
I haven't seen much of the trial. I have seen a lot of Jodi, though.
Yeah.
I'm only familiar with a couple different elements of it, but I do remember the case.
Well, just a quick summary. Well, Travis Alexander was found in the bathroom, in the shower, more or less almost decapitated and shot in the head. And quite soon after, Jodi Arias became the prime suspect, mainly because she contacted the police herself and offered to help out. And she talked, and she talked, and she, gosh darn it, she talked. And meanwhile, the police were gathering evidence, and then brought her in for more questioning. And after a bit more talk, where she went from "I wasn't there" to "I was there, but it was two masked persons who killed Travis." But
Sure.
yeah, and they threatened me, but they kept me alive. Yeah, that
Very believable.
extremely believable. Ask Salvador how he feels about it. Yes, Dave. Ninjas did it. Yeah.
Yes.
because ninjas are very famous for leaving witnesses.
Oh, totally.
Mm,
Especially if they're they've seen everything, and yeah, it makes perfect sense.
mm. Yeah, makes perfect sense. And I'm having, let's see here, I have David's chat here so I can spot if he gets memberships and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, by the way, everybody, go and subscribe to Chandler and watch everything she has done. She has enough subscribers, but she needs that
Watch
our
hours.
watch hours. Yeah,
Mhm.
I might be mumbling some words today,
That's okay.
but
I can fill in here and there if you need me
yeah.
to.
So a gallon of orange juice, ibuprofen, and coffee and pickles are on the menu today.
Is that your hangover cure? It's a very interesting hangover cure. I was curious what the Swedish cure for a hangover is.
Well, more or less, it's your body has done everything to get rid of the alcohol, and you are lacking some supplements. That orange juice, coffee, and pickles. That's how I do it, at
I
least.
I hope that you are having them separately and not in the same container.
No, no,
That would
no,
be
separately.
ungodly, I think is the word that I'm looking for.
Yeah, I wouldn't try putting these things in a blender. Mm. Yeah, and David reminds everybody to go over and on each. We are dual streaming this on my channel and on Dave's channel, so give a thumbs up on both. Will you please? Yeah. Housekeeping. Yeah, as per usual. I don't mind super chats, but I would prefer if you give it to Zachariah Anderson's defense fund. So two and $5 to me, tenors and above to Zachariah Anderson. David, he's a cheap bastard. He says everything to me. I can say all this because all David can do is whine in the chat, and yeah, he can do that. Yeah, Dave, he likes super chats. And if you become a member, there is members only content on the channel page, including a link to the Discord. That was all the housekeeping I have brains for today.
Well, I think we might not be on a similar wavelength. There is a reason why my camera is off. I'm not feeling my best today, but if Dave asked me to fill in, yeah, I'm definitely going to fill in. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. I just wish that I had had the fun that you had last night. Like if I get a headache, it's usually not because I was drinking and partying and,
Yeah,
enjoying myself. But I did see clips, so it looks like you had a great time, whether you remember it or not.
the last hour is a bit hazy, but yeah, most of it is clear as coffee. I don't know. Um, I have to rewatch it so I don't say too many stupid things. Ah,
You're
yeah,
braver than I
we
am. I can never watch a drinking stream after I've gone on one. I tend to not want to know what happened. I tend to watch
well,
the part after I leave and just making
mm,
sure that everybody is, not saying like, "Wow, she really," you
mm.
know.
Well, I've seen the clips on Twitter. Thank you so much, Sal, for clipping everything stupid I did. And
Yeah, leave it to Sal. Sal does great
mm.
clips, definitely.
Oh, okay. Does Sweden have free cancer treatment? We have what you call universal healthcare, and we do pay a token amount. You the once you're paid, once you have paid roughly $140, the rest is free. So yeah. So yes, we have free cancer treatment.
Interesting question. I did not know that, but
Mm.
that makes
Yeah,
sense
yeah.
from what I know.
And hence our we do have quite a bit of taxes to fund all these things, as well as government pension and stuff like that. And unemployment is also paid via taxes. So yeah, where is David? Is David going live? Well, he should be live. And David is somewhere. I don't know.
He's otherwise occupied, and I'm filling in, and I'm
Hmm?
happy to be here. I'm not David. I'm not as good as David. I'm not a lawyer, but I am somewhat lucid today, and
Hmm?
I do some pretty good trial commentary. So hopefully,
Yeah.
I'll be able to bring something to the mix.
Hmm? And today we are going to start with day 11 and of the trial, and we have last previous two episodes we streamed was the beginning of the defense case in chief. So we are in the middle of the defense case in chief, and on day 13, Jodi will take the stand.
Oh wow, that'll be
Yeah,
definitely very exciting.
and she will remain on the stand for, I believe, 13 days.
Okay, well that beats out Dennis Fong.
Yeah.
That'll be wow. That'll take a while, especially I don't know how long these episodes usually last, but I
Mm,
know that like for Jeff and I when we were doing OJ, we literally just finished Dennis Fong, and I've been doing it
mm,
with him since February, so it takes a long time. And he was going before that. Like I came in after he had already started Dennis Fong,
mm.
so it's gonna take a while probably to get through Jodi's testimony, and that
Yeah.
should be very exciting and take up a lot of YouTube hours and content and material.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. And every Tuesday, every Saturday, 6 p.m. Swedish time, noon Eastern time. Oh, hi, Jeff.
Oh, hey, Jeff. What
Jeffy.
up?
Hi,
I thought Jeff
Jeff.
would be sleeping the entire weekend. I'm surprised. Go back to sleep. You need rest.
Yeah.
Although we're happy to have you here with us. So,
Yeah.
stick around if you want. We're,
Yeah.
maybe listen to us while
Mm,
you doze and,
mm,
you're kind of in and
yeah.
out of slumber.
Yeah. Jeff really needs to catch up on sleep if
Oh,
he's,
God.
yeah. He's going to,
That's your business trial. He was just such a trooper. He really stuck it out through the whole thing.
mm,
I was very impressed.
mm. Yeah, that was impressive. Now, let's see here. Add to stream. Day 11, part 1. This is an hour and 11 minutes, but with commentary. We do stop, comment, we answer questions from the chat and stuff like that. Have I recovered from last night? No, but I will get there. Thanks to orange juice, ibuprofen, pickles, and coffee.
Yeah, hopefully the pickles will do it. I don't know if I could eat pickles in the morning after drinking a lot, but
Mm.
you are a
No,
Viking, so
yeah,
you're built a little differently, perhaps.
yeah, and it's at 6 p.m. here, so it's not really morning, but
Hmm.
yeah.
I never know. I have to keep like a world clock, so I can figure out like where are my friends? What time is it in their part of the world today?
Mm.
So you're getting there. I've
Yeah.
had like 2-day hangovers before, and
Mm.
they're kind of rough. But you did it for a good cause. You did it for
Yeah.
Zach, so hopefully your liver
Mm.
will forgive you.
Yeah. Mine and Jeff's Viking drink off. That was a 2-day hangover. Oh,
No, was that the time that I met you? Was that the first F Friday? I think it might have been
it might have been. Might
when
have
you
been.
matched him shot for shot.
Yeah.
That was
And
impressive.
yeah, and drank beer on the side because the shots weren't coming soon enough. That was a bright idea.
I trust that you'll get through it.
Yeah, yeah, I've been doing it for a very long time.
Well, I'm happy to be here in a support role in case you forget words or need somebody to fill it. I'm just happy to be here.
Mm. Hangry Viking, is it possible for me to give a 60-second background for this case. I thought I did. Go back a bit, and I have done it. Travis Alexander was found, and he had been dead for 5 days. So the state of him were as a 5-day deceased person. And quite soon after, Jodi Arias was the prime suspect, mainly because she talked to the police, telling them first that anything I can do to help. I wasn't there, I was somewhere else. But as time went on, they discovered that, she might have been there, mainly because she used a rental car with way too many miles on it for just that trip that she was supposed to have taken.
And for context, which I don't think you mentioned, Nick, they had been in like an on again, off again, very like tumultuous romantic sexual relationship for a while. They were both Mormons. They'd like broken up and gotten back together. They were kind of sexually obsessed with each other. So there was a lot of, so she was linked to him. She had, like an established, obvious connection with him, which is why she was, very suspicious.
Yeah.
She wasn't just some random woman. She, they had been dating and things like that.
Yeah. And, but as testimony during the trial, more or less Travis used her while he was looking for a proper wife. So she was not happy with that. And she went stabby, stabby, shooty, shooty. And he called her his 3-hole wonder.
What a cute, sweet nickname. That's, every woman's dream. It's a little it's a little different from Sweetie Pie or Honey or Darling.
Yeah.
But just she was a unique woman. I will give her that. She was a little different.
Yeah, and I believe if it was day 6, part 2 was when all of Jodi was entered into evidence.
Yeah, I missed that live, sadly, but you guys can go back and take a look at that. It's quite a photo. Very impressive. Well, the one photo that I saw, I know there are multiple photos.
Multiple photos.
And it's my understanding that was an accident, that they didn't really mean to broadcast that at the time.
Yeah. They broadcasted it. They were supposed to only have sound, but no picture. But whoever was during the technicals switched it, so it was no sound and all picture.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Dave, phrasing.
Yeah, nobody's going to be doing Sarah Boone for a while, except for maybe her inmates and some COs. I don't think, especially with that haircut, the lesbian haircut, which it's not the cutest.
Yeah. Karen / lesbian haircut, so yeah.
It's not a good look. Not that she looked any better before, but Sarah Boone is, we are going to be covering Sarah Boone, but that's not going to happen until October. And so until then, please expect David and I to be doing videos about Sarah Boone in the meantime, where we go over her letters, various things about the case, etc. And I've made a playlist, which is on my channel, if you want to take a look, with all of our videos up to date, plus the very creepy suitcase videos. Viewer be advised, it is disturbing and unpleasant.
Yeah, one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen is her going shh.
That was very creepy.
He was crying for help from inside the suitcase, and she just went shh. Ooh.
I'm glad she took that video. It's definitely going to help the jury make a really good decision, and I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing her, her meet a verdict, essentially.
Yeah. But we are here for Jodi Arias.
Yes, we are. This is a totally different trial.
Yeah, and what I do know is from her appeal, the appellate court didn't overturn it, but they said the trial was riddled with misconduct from the prosecutor, and mainly during the defense case in chief. And we saw hints of it up on day 10. But I assume it will be more and more as we move along, because if the appellate court writes in their decision riddled with misconduct, yeah, because I haven't really seen any misconduct during the state's case in chief, just that he is a short, angry prosecutor. But that's his style, and he won a lot of cases with it up until he was almost disbarred due to his conduct in his office with the women. And but he resigned before he was disbarred, so that never happened. Yeah, okay, but enough rambling. Oh, before I forget, swoop. I don't do that. From the Norwegian fire farting dragon.
Fabulous.
Let's see here.
Please be seated. The record will show the presence of the jury, the defendant, and all counsel. The defense may call its next witness.
Defense calls Lisa Daydoni.
Lisa something Daydoni. And yeah, sound is amazing in this trial, and it is a 10-year-old trial. Something happened with something where almost everybody seems to be allergic to microphones nowadays.
I feel like that's a constant theme.
Mm.
I mean, it's a mixed bag. You never know what you're going to get with the just anybody who's involved in like the court TV, audio, and visual department.
Mm.
They're not really bringing their best
Last
guys.
name? Yeah, Daidone. Raise your right hand. You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Please walk around and have a seat. May proceed.
Good morning, Ms. Daydoni. Can you give us your name, please?
Yeah, Lisa Daydoni.
And what's your maiden name?
Andrews?
So are you married now?
Yes.
And who are you married to?
Dominic Daydoni?
And how long have you been married?
About 2.5 years.
What do you do for a living?
I work for Prudential Insurance as a short-term disability claim manager.
Okay. Are you on leave right now?
Yes.
For what?
Parental leave. They had a baby 4 months ago.
Okay, congratulations. I want to talk to you. How old are you right now?
I am 25.
25, okay. I want to talk to you a little bit about Travis Alexander, okay? Did you know him?
Yes.
Now, originally, you and Travis, did you meet at church?
Yes, we did.
Through church activities?
Yes.
She looks a bit like the actress in Handmaid's Tale. Yeah.
Who, Elizabeth Moss?
Yeah.
I could see that.
And were you both in a singles ward?
Yes.
Can you describe for me what that means, a singles ward?
Yeah, it's just a place where members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints would go. I started going when I was 18. That's the age you would start going. And then there are single members that go up until their age 30. Well, when they turn 31 is when they would go to a different ward.
Okay, so a singles ward, I assume if somebody gets married, then they would not be in the singles ward anymore?
Correct.
Okay. So in other words, you wouldn't be in a singles ward now?
Correct.
Okay. And
What's the age difference between you and Travis?
A little over 10 years.
All right, so you said you started when you were 18?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sorry. Yes.
That's okay. Were you 18 when you first met Travis?
I believe so.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I don't know exactly when I met him, the first time, but yes, that's when I started going to the singles ward, and I know just from knowledge that he was in the singles ward when I was 18.
okay.
So probably met in passing at some time.
Okay, and about how many people were in the singles ward?
I don't know. I mean, 200 to 300. I really don't know the exact amount or anything.
Okay, but we're talking in the hundreds, right?
Yes,
So it's not just 20 people.
correct.
And so when you first met Travis, then he would have been around 28 or 29?
Yes.
How long did you guys know each other? Well, did you know each other at all before you started dating?
Yes. Probably, about a year before we started seeing each other just one-on-one. We'd see each other in large groups for about a
Okay.
year.
And is that, you'd see each other like in church activities type thing?
Yes.
During this year, did you ever go to his house for any of the movie nights and things
Yes.
like that? And is that before you were dating?
Yes.
And how would you classify that year before you started dating? How would you classify your relationship with Travis? Were you acquaintances? Were you friends?
I would say we were friends.
Friends?
Yes.
Okay. Did you talk to him very often?
Occasionally, yes. At those gatherings, never really, it wasn't until later that we became, started texting or talking on the phone.
Is that how when your relationship started to develop more?
Yes.
Now, before you dated Travis, you were dating someone by the name of Steve Bell.
Yes.
And how long did you date Steve Bell?
About 4 months.
And that was, so you dated Mr. Bell for a total of 4 months?
Yes.
Okay. And that was about how long before you officially started dating Travis?
From the time I broke up with Steve until I started dating Travis was about 6 months.
Okay. And during the time that after you broke up with Steve or Mr. Bell to the time that you officially started dating Travis, those 6 months, those are the time when you would still classify your relationship as a friend with Travis?
Yes.
Okay. And did you have any more contact with Mr. Bell?
Yes, occasionally.
And okay. And was Mr. Bell a part of the church?
Yes.
So he's also Mormon?
Yes.
I think the first time that you, well, I guess mostly for that year while you were friends with, just friends with Travis, you were, did you hang out mostly in groups with him?
Yes.
One of the first times that you did something alone with him, was that after you had just lost a job?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Overruled.
And did he talk to you about PPL?
Yes.
Was that a suggestion for a job for you?
Yes.
Did you ever get involved in PPL?
No.
And by PPL, I mean prepaid legal.
Yes.
Okay.
I understand.
All right. Now, overall, when you started dating Travis, you dated him for about, a total of about 8 months?
Sustained.
How long did you date Travis for?
I would say about 7 to 8 months.
Okay. And about when did you start?
Roughly July of 2007.
All right. And so when did you break up?
Middle to end of February of 2008.
All right. And go ahead. I just wanted you to be able to do that. When you were dating each other, did you email with each other?
Yes.
Did you text with each other?
Yes.
Did you instant message?
Yes.
And did you also call each other
Yes.
the old-fashioned way?
Yes.
Okay. And besides that, then did you also go on dates with him?
Yes.
At the time that you were dating him, did you have an email address, lisa.andrews87?
Overruled.
That means you can answer.
Yes.
All right. And when you were dating Travis, was it kind of what kind of relationship was it?
We had broken up a few times and gotten back together a few times.
Okay. So would you classify it as on and off?
Yes.
And when you broke up, who did the breaking up?
Usually it was me.
Usually?
And during the times that you broke up with him, did he?
Sounds like
Usually?
yeah, that sounds like a very on and off again kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which
And this,
he had with Jodi too. So it sounds like he was very on and off again with a lot of girls. At least 2 girls that we know of.
yeah. And yeah. Interesting.
Continue to text you afterwards?
Sometimes, yes.
All right. And did you end up start talking to each other again?
Yes.
And that would be until the final breakup, right?
Correct.
And after the final breakup in around the end of February, did you have contact with him after that?
I did after the final breakup for a little bit.
Okay. When you first started dating Travis, let's see, how old were you?
When we first started dating, I was 19.
All right. And did he get really serious on you?
Yeah, he started talking about marriage fairly early.
Okay. I mean, he started talking about marriage how early? Within a couple of months or how long?
Probably. I can't remember exactly, but earlier than I was comfortable with at age 19.
Okay. And were you concerned about just turning 18 and then having the thought of getting married right away?
Sustained.
Did you want to get married at that point in time?
Not at that point in time.
Why not?
I felt like I was too young and immature, and I needed time to live my life before I was tied down to be married.
All right. And did you tell these things to Travis?
Yes.
Is that one reasons why you broke up with him the first time?
I wouldn't say that would be the reason the first time, but in later conversations, I would say that was the main reason we broke up the second time.
Okay. Let's talk about the first time that you broke up. What was the reason for that?
I came to the understanding that he was cheating on me.
Do you know who he was cheating with?
Yes.
Who's that?
Jodi Arias.
And how did you learn that?
Interesting. I wonder if both these girls thought the same thing, that who were the main girl and who was the side chick.
Yeah, it sounds like he was kind of a player.
Yeah.
Which, Mormon values.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Very Mormon value.
I mean, it's not like he was marrying them, but the plurality and multiplicity of women, that's definitely a Mormon tenet. So, it's very, very Mormon of him.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that Mormon Mormon practice of having more than one lady of the house.
Polygamy? Yeah, it's kind of one of the main things about it. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen Sister Wives. They had a reality show about life being Mormon, and this guy with 5 wives. Kind of fascinating.
Yeah, I'm having my hands full with one woman. I mean, multiple. No, I have no.
Although it seems like
no.
Jeff is objecting in the chat, and Jeff is he understands Mormon values. So no, what isn't Jeff? I'd like to. Am I getting it wrong? I'm not Mormon. Sister Wives people are not Mormon. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I've never seen it, so perhaps I'm incorrect. But it was my understanding that LDS practices. Well, I guess polygamy isn't legal, so they do have sort of rules about that. So perhaps I am doing Mormonism dirty, so I do apologize to anybody in chat who might have that background. But it's one of the things that, it was a beginning tenet, and I know there are some people who they take, spiritual wives and things like that. So
Yeah,
I could be incorrect.
I have a vague recollection of it. It was practiced about 100 years ago, at least, because if it was a World War or something else that, oh, here it goes. Polygamy was banned in the church in 1890. Okay.
Okay. Well, I am Jewish, so I don't know anything. So forget everything that I said. I am not educated. I have, seen some things about Mormonism, and I was vaguely aware, but that is true. I was aware that it was banned. So again, could be wrong there.
Okay. That's today's learning lesson from Jeff at Legal Vices.
Well, ultimately, Travis was a player. It sounds like he was, dating multiple girls, and they weren't really, necessarily aware of each other. So
yeah, and started talking marriage quite soon after entering the dating pool, and but he never married anyone, so it was cut short.
Unfortunately, he never got that opportunity.
Yeah, but then again, how long had he been doing? If they enter this pool of single Mormons at 18, he was 28, and yeah, it seems like he might have done this for quite some time. Yeah, but Jodi seems very disappointed in hearing this, that she was the side chick.
Well, I mean, if she was his three-hole wonder,
Yeah.
it's a high compliment. It'd be very disappointing to hear that.
Of his had told my sister, who then told me.
Okay, so Mr. Alexander didn't tell you that?
No.
And did you confront him about that?
After I had broken up with him, yes.
All right. And after you broke up with him, did he continue to text you or email you?
Yes.
And was he persuasive about trying to get back together with you?
Yeah, I mean, in the way that he said he still cared about me.
And was he persistent, would you say?
Yes.
And eventually, did you get back together with him?
Yes.
And when you got back together with him, about how was your relationship at that point?
It was better. We had addressed a lot of the concerns that I had at the beginning. He explained that he wasn't.
Stay.
All right. Did you feel that you could trust him at that point?
Yes.
And so did you feel comfortable getting back into a relationship with him?
Yes.
About how long were you in a relationship with him until you broke up with him again?
I don't remember.
Okay. Can you say whether it was months or days?
I would say months.
Okay. And so then what was the second reason that you broke up with them? What was the reason that you broke up with them for the second time?
He was getting more serious about marriage, and I wasn't ready for that.
Okay. And at this point, Travis would have been about 29 or 30?
I believe he was 30 by this point.
Okay. And in the Mormon religion, how is 30 an older age to not be married, or how is that looked upon?
In my opinion, yes.
Okay. Is that how you were raised to believe?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. All right. And did Travis express to you that he was concerned about being older and not married?
Maybe. I don't know exactly. But I mean, he was concerned that he wasn't married yet. He wanted to be married. Okay. I don't know if it was exactly because of his age or just where he was in his life. That was one of his goals. He wanted to be married.
Okay. And was he telling you that he wanted to marry you?
Yes.
Judge is not for the truth of the matter asserted.
Overruled. Let me answer.
Yes.
And so is this something that it got to the point that it concerned you to the point that you broke up with him?
Sustained.
Did you break up with him?
Yes.
And why did you do that for the second time?
I broke up with him because I felt that if he felt like he was in a point in his life that he did want to be married, he should explore other options because I was not ready at that point.
All right. And is that what you told him?
Yes.
And was this around December of 2007, would you say?
Sustained.
Do you remember when this was?
Not exactly. I would say maybe end of November, maybe early December, I'm not sure.
Okay. And at this point during your relationship, were you telling him that you loved him?
I believe so.
All right. And was he telling you that he loved you?
Yes.
And at this point now that this, I guess the second part of, after the first breakup, before the second, did you believe that your relationship was exclusive?
Yes.
All right. So do you believe that you were you going to date anybody else?
No.
Okay. And did you believe that whether Travis was dating anyone else?
I believed it was exclusive between the two of us.
Okay.
It's monogamous.
All right. Did you know that he still had contact with Miss Arias?
Yes.
And did you know that he was in contact with another woman, Deanna Reed?
Yes.
And how did he contact them? Did you know?
A lot of it was phone calls and text messages, and I knew there were emails as well.
All right. And this was happening at the same time were you dating him at this time?
Yes.
And this was after the first breakup?
Yes.
And did you know that these were women that he had previously dated? But at this point, did you think that they were romantically involved at all?
No.
And he never told you that, right?
Sustained.
Did he ever tell you that he was texting these women and by the way, I'm also involved with them romantically?
No, he never said they were involved romantically.
Okay. At a certain point, though, did this kind of wear on your relationship?
Yes.
Okay. Why did it?
I felt that if we were to be in an exclusive relationship, he nor I should be texting or calling members of the opposite sex as often as they had done.
Okay. And at some point, did you ever have suspicions that he might have been cheating again?
Yes.
At the time that you were dating Travis, did you ever take any trips with him?
No.
Did you feel,
Well, I'm sorry. Yes, I just remembered just one.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
We went to Sedona.
Oh, okay. Was that an overnight trip?
No, it was just a day trip.
All right. In your religion, Travis was a Mormon also, right?
Correct.
Okay. In your religion, how is it looked upon for two single people to go on an overnight trip together?
It doesn't look very good.
All right. And did you come to find out that Travis took trips with Jodi?
Yes.
And what time period was that? Do you know?
Like as far as a month or anything? Or what do you mean?
Was it during the time that you were still dating Travis?
Yes.
And did you know where they went?
A few of the times, yes.
Oh, where were those?
Sustained.
And did he go on several trips then, as far as you understand?
I believe I knew of two.
Okay. And both of those, did he ever ask you to go?
No.
To your understanding, were these overnight trips?
Sustained.
Judge, it's not for the truth of the matter asserted.
Approach.
All right. Well, it seems like this girl, Lisa, and Jodi wasn't even the only ones he tried to get down with them. That's a player.
Yeah, Jodi does not look happy about this.
No.
She's like, I thought Sedona was our place. She looks pissed.
Yeah. He had a revolving door to his bedroom.
And I mean, that's a reasonable reaction. Finding out that somebody you thought you were exclusive with ended up going and taking trips with somebody else. I mean, it's normal to feel jealous about that. It's just not normal to, stab and shoot that person. Not saying that she did that, in retaliation for anything. I really don't understand. Like, what was her motivation? Did they ever figure out, why she chose to kill him?
Nope. She has never spoken out about motive or anything. In this trial, she's arguing self-defense. So she went from not being there to ninjas did it to it was self-defense.
Self-defense.
Yeah.
Self-defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 27 stab wounds, 1 gunshot wound, and other bruises. So...
Well, there's also this other challenge. I know this is maybe a little irrelevant, but just they have to make her look really dowdy, sort of. They don't want her to look sexy and hot, so they have her with the glasses and they have her with no makeup. And that's got to be frustrating for her because there's this cute blonde on the stand and she's allowed to wear makeup and look really cute and everything, and it's got to be frustrating for her to look not as she doesn't come out. I feel like she probably had a lot of jealousy. And I'm not sure if she knew about these other girls, but it's possible that she suspected that. I don't know if it was part of her motivation. It can't be a good feeling. God, why am I having empathy for this woman? I don't understand.
Yeah, well, and one thing that had she not started calling the police and offer her knowledge, she might have gotten away with this.
Yeah, I don't really understand why she had to do that. That doesn't seem like a very smart move.
And leaving the camera with the pictures in the house.
Jodi. Was it your understanding that Travis took Jodi on overnight trips?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, was it after your relationship with Travis that you confronted him about these trips?
No, at some points it was during.
Okay. So did you ever tell Travis that you found out about these trips?
Yes.
All right. And did he explain it to you in a way that you thought that you felt it was an innocent trip?
Objection, lead, hearsay.
I'm leading so that there's no hearsay.
Overruled. You may answer.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Sure. Did he explain it to you in a way that you felt that it was an innocent trip?
Yes.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about what you know about Jodi Arias. So
this is the defense case in chief and the defense witness, and it is direct examination, or what you call it. So this question: have you ever felt the urge to walk a defendant off a cliff figuratively because of the crimes they have committed? I don't. I do labor law, so I don't devolve into the criminal aspects.
Right,
Have I had people I had to defend, even though I knew about what they did? Yeah, that's my job. So I guess if David were here, he would say the same thing.
And as for me, I mean, I'm a paralegal and I do transactional law, which means that I'm not in court. And we, the clients that, the attorneys that I've worked for have represented, generally speaking, are not involved in any kind of criminal cases. They're there because they're making movies or, other things like they're producers. So, yeah, can't say that I've ever been in that situation before.
Let's see here. There was something odd with that link.
Although I did work for an attorney who had a connection with Harvey Weinstein, so I might want to direct that guy off a cliff, but
Yeah. Well, if I would put myself in that situation where I knew of the horrifics, well, then I would just defend the constitutional rights of that defendant. Would I enjoy it? No, but the system is more important than the individual defendants.
I agree.
I hope that answered that question. And let's move on.
Okay. Do you remember when you first met her or would have seen her?
I don't remember the exact time, but it was at, I believe it was at a church activity, a family home evening. Right?
Okay. And family home evening, is that something that the singles ward would do also?
Yes.
And I think I asked you earlier about going to Travis's house for cookies and movie nights. Would those be nights like family home evening nights?
They would be somewhat similar. However, the family home evening was actually sponsored by the church and was a church activity, and the other activities at Travis's house were just friends getting together.
Oh, okay. So did you meet Jodi the first time you saw her?
I believe so.
Okay. And when you first met her, to your knowledge, were she and Travis dating?
When I had spoken with her, she said that.
Objection, hearsay.
Mrs. Bandler?
Did you come to find out that she was dating Travis?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled. You may answer yes or no.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Did you come to find out that Travis and Jodi were dating when you first met Jodi?
Objection, hearsay. The question includes the hearsay.
Overruled. You may answer yes or no.
I'm sorry, there were differing stories, so I don't know what I understood at this time. I understood they were not dating. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You understood that they were not dating?
Correct.
Okay. Did you ever learn that they had dated?
Yes.
Okay. And when you were there different times that you saw Jodi and Travis together?
Yes.
Was that always in a public setting?
No, there was a time or two at his home.
Okay. And when those times at his home, were there other people around?
Yes.
About how many people? Like a small gathering or a larger gathering?
It would depend. I'm sure on one occasion it was a smaller gathering, one that I can recall.
Okay. And what would you include to be a smaller? How many people would you say in a smaller?
10 to 15 people.
Okay. So,
That he is a cheating son of a bitch, but I don't know if it actually helps. But they do claim self-defense that Travis was an abuser. But I don't see going from a cheating SOB to abuser if there are no other girlfriend in his life that says that. But I don't know. It's a long trial. Tweety, congratulations for surviving your Chat Face for Charity live stream. Yeah. And it was a 4-hour stream. The last hour is a bit hazy, but I do think it was a good choice for me to end the stream at that time. Maybe not so abruptly, but
I came to watch and then it just ended all of a sudden, and I wasn't really sure why. But I figured that maybe you ended the stream like I've left F at Fridays, just Irish exit. I'm very everybody knows I do that, so I get it.
Yeah.
You get too drunk and you're just like, I'm out, I'm done.
Yeah, And there were some discussions among the guests that, oh, Nick is on the edge now, and that might have made me realize, yeah, I'm out of here. Click.
Well, it was
But,
a fantastic. You raised a lot of money. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and we have universal healthcare. I can get a new liver. Remember ending the stream? Last hour is a bit hazy, and yeah.
So the answer would be no. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'll have to get back.
During the times that you saw Travis and Jodi together, did you ever see Travis being affectionate with Jodi?
No.
Did you ever see Jodi try to be affectionate with Travis?
Yes.
Did you see her trying to hold his hand?
Yes.
And did you see Travis do things like push her aside?
No.
Or brush her hand aside is what I mean.
I don't recall that.
Okay. Did you ever see basically him not reciprocating the affection?
Yes.
And as an example, I guess, did you ever see like her do something like try and reach for him and him just walk away?
I'm not sure of that example, but I did see her trying to, like you said, show affection, and he did not show it back.
Okay. And when we talk about showing affection, what do you mean? What kind of things was she doing?
I do remember one particular time at his house, he was trying to talk to the large group of people the smaller 10 to 15 people that were at his house, entertaining guests. And she, as he was talking to everyone, she would be all over him and hugging on him and have her arms around him while he was talking to everyone else. And he did not reciprocate that.
Okay. And during this time that you first met Jodi and Travis, I guess, would this have been in the time frame before you and Travis dated?
Yes.
So would that have been before July of 2007?
Yes.
And when did you join the Singles Ward?
The summer after I graduated high school in 2006. So I would have gone in June of 2006.
Okay. So do you have an idea of what the time frame was when you first met Jodi?
I don't.
Okay. But based on what we know with you joining the Singles Ward and when you dated Travis, do you agree it would have been somewhere between July of 2006 to July of 2007?
Objection, leading.
Oh, do me answer.
Yes.
While you were dating Travis, he always professed.
Objection, lack of foundation, which started, we broke up.
Sustained.
During all 3 times that you dated Travis during this 8 months of on and off relationship, you never had sexual relations with him. In other words, intercourse, right?
Correct.
And did he always profess to be a virgin?
Objection, hearsay, leading.
He did.
Proper objection.
Did you want to have?
He's having an LA
Well,
moment.
let me ask you this. After he died, you learned that he was not a virgin, right?
Objection, relevance. And hearsay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong so far with the objections. Some are sustained, some are overruled. Yeah, and Jodi is not happy, knowing that he was dating other women, at least one other woman. Maybe she just now come to realize, oh, I was the side piece all along.
Well, did she get a diagnosis of a borderline personality disorder?
I don't know.
I remember hearing that at one point. Now, I'm not sure if that's accurate, but if it is, I can imagine that experience, like people who have that personality disorder, tend to feel things very deeply and very strongly. And so you can't really tell exactly. She's hiding it pretty well, but she's probably feeling like extreme, like, like an extremely strong physical reaction to seeing this witness and listening to her talk about her relationship with Travis.
I'm seeing here that let's see, psychologist Richard Samuels took stand after testifying that he diagnosed Arias with PTSD and dissociative amnesia.
Oh, okay. So no borderline. I was sure that I'd seen a lot of people mention a potential borderline diagnosis for her. So scotch that. That's not accurate. See, I shouldn't speak unless I know what I'm talking about. But
no, I see. I have an article here.
And do they? I'm curious. Did they do an MHE for her for this? What's her her mental health put at issue? Okay, so people asked about it. So I'm not imagining it.
Yeah, let's see here. Does Jodi Arias have borderline personality disorder? Armchair shrinks are diagnosing Jodi Arias with BPD. Are they right? No, that seems to be rumor. Let's see here. Well, let's just read his article from 2013. As the shocking details of the Jodi Arias trial continue to cascade into our living rooms, armchair shrinks and casual observers seems to have a theory on the mental state of Jodi Arias. She has been, quote-unquote, diagnosed as a narcissistic, a pathological liar, bipolar, and a sociopath. But the most popular lay diagnosis recently is BPD. Arias is not the only high-profile individual with the BPD label. There is also Casey Anthony, Sandy Hook school shooter Adam Lanza, and other people.
And I believe Amber Heard got a borderline diagnosis from Dr. Shannon Curry.
Oh, sorry. What did you say?
I said I believe Amber Heard also received that diagnosis from Dr. Shannon Curry.
Yeah. Of sorts. Yeah.
Along with narcissistic personality disorder. Or no, wait. No, I'm sorry. No, it was borderline personality disorder and then histrionic personality disorder.
Yeah.
So they're all cluster B, sort of. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't find an actual diagnosis, only from people who does not treat her have apparently done it.
Well, but yeah, I really wanted to know if that was something that came up during the trial, if there was a psychologist who, officially diagnosed her and that was entered into the court record. So the answer to that would be no.
Yeah, and the only one who has diagnosed her is this defense witness psychologist, Richard Samuel, with PTSD and dissociative amnesia. That's the only thing I find, at least. But
that was informative.
There. Let's continue. Having a sidebar. Handmaid's Tale, still on the stand. Jodi making Lisa very uncomfortable. That's Travis' mother, I think. That's a long sidebar.
All right. At some point, were you shocked to learn that Travis actually was not a virgin?
I'm going to object to the form of the question. I think that wasn't the question. Sure.
I think that's what we discussed.
Approach.
Okay, now we are entering what could be the start of what the appellate court called misconduct, because if they already talked about that specific question and he still objects, then yeah. But let's see, packed courtroom.
Okay, Ms. Dadoni, let me ask this. After Travis's death, were you shocked to learn that he was not a virgin?
Yes.
Throughout your relationship with him, did you always feel like you were doing the right thing?
Objection, leading relevance is to how she felt.
Did you feel?
Overruled, you may answer.
Could you repeat the question?
Sure. Did you always feel that you were doing the right thing with regard to premarital sex?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I want to talk to you a little bit more about one of the times with Travis. Did you say earlier that you and Travis used to email quite a bit?
Yes.
And text also?
Yes.
And at times, did you email Travis things about your relationship?
Yes.
Judge, may I approach?
Yes.
Can I ask you to review? Can I ask you to review that? You see the email address at the top?
Yes.
All right, is that an email from you?
Yes.
And who is that email to?
To Travis Alexander.
Do you see the date at the top?
Yes.
When is that?
Sunday, the 23rd of September, 2007.
All right. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
All right. Judge, may I approach?
You may.
And what I show you for the record is exhibit number, what's been marked as exhibit number 385. You remember writing this email?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, defense would move to enter exhibit number 385 into evidence.
Objection, hearsay.
Approach.
Yeah, we across the three channels we now have 113 who is here concurrently. Excellent. Which is great, and I hope you all move over to the from my channel to Dave's channels to Chandler's channel back to me, just to press the like button on all three of us. So more importantly, to get Chandler her watch hours.
Thanks, Nicholas. I appreciate that
Yeah.
a lot.
Mm. And for you who wonder, this mug is now in merch store. It's you can find it in the description below, I think, or somewhere on my channel. So you can have your very own You Can't Un-F a Cluster F mug.
I'm so glad you made that into a mug. I've been wanting that mug forever. I'm really happy. I'm really excited to get it for myself.
Yeah, there's also a t-shirt with the text. T-shirt text on back, my logo front. That was what my members voted for, and that's what they got. Yay! What else? My brain is a bit slow today. I apologize.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, but as per always, if you think this is we really like these guys talking about Jodi Arias and the other things we do, subscribe. become a member. That helps the channel keep the channel afloat.
Absolutely. Subscribe to Nicholas Stara. He does amazing trial watch content. And subscribe to MLS Law as well. Make sure to like all of the videos. I'm so happy that you guys are here. Thank you all for watching. This is a really wild trial, and I'm very curious about this witness. She seems to be causing a lot of problems for the state.
Yeah. Another sidebar. Oh,
So many sidebars.
yeah. Bum, bum, bum. It's a long one. Yeah, the guy you see here who sits on the prosecution's table, he is just a prop because this prosecutor does everything by himself. He does not take help. Maybe he has a paralegal somewhere, but otherwise he does everything by himself because he don't trust anyone to do the work for him. Long sidebar. Dun, dun, dun. Now we know why the trial went on for so long, maybe. Jesus Christ.
I'm really looking forward to seeing her on the stand. That'll be something.
Okay. All right. So I know you got to see the email just a little bit ago. I'm going to ask you some questions about that email. Okay.
Okay.
Do you remember in this email that you were talking to Travis about breaking up?
Yes.
And that was it the right thing to do?
Yes.
And did you hope that he came to the same
I'm not
conclusion?
objecting, because she's actually just reading it. That's not what was discussed.
I'm not reading it.
All right, complete your question.
Did you hope that he came to the same conclusion?
Yes.
So that he would not continue? Why did you hope that he would come to the same conclusion?
Because I thought it was the right decision to break up, and that, I don't know, you don't want to talk to people after you break up with them, right?
Okay. Did you not want him to text or email you anymore then?
Not at that time, no.
Did you talk to him about the way you felt starting off the relationship,
Yes.
and that you started off wrong?
Yes, that's in the email.
Did you feel that way because you thought you might have tempted him to kiss? You thought that you might have tempted him to kiss you too soon?
Yes.
Did you talk to him about the fact that you both were making out for too long?
Yes.
And by making out, what do you mean?
Kissing.
Okay, I just want to be clear. And did you talk to him about how each time that you made out, it progressively got worse?
Yes.
Did you talk to him about when you used to make out with him in the beginning, you didn't think about sex?
Yes.
But eventually it would creep into your mind?
Yes.
And was that something that you were not comfortable with?
Correct.
Did you talk to him about that you knew that sex was on his mind from the very beginning?
Yes.
Did you tell him that you took complete responsibility for not respecting the priesthood?
Yes.
Did you feel like it was your fault?
I felt it was a mutual thing.
Oh, mutual, okay. Did you talk to him about that, whether you should have done a better job to keep his thoughts clean?
Yes.
Did you feel that that was your responsibility to keep his thoughts clean?
I felt, again, it was a mutual thing. Both of us were taking part in making out for what I felt was too long and too passionately, I suppose. And so both of us should have taken a step back.
Okay. Did you talk to him about that sometimes you felt that he wanted you just for your body?
I did say that in the email.
And that your kisses didn't mean anything to him?
I did say that in the email.
That you felt that it was a way for him to let out some sexual tension
I did say that in the email.
that he had so much of?
Again, I said that.
Did that make you feel used and dirty?
I did say that in the email.
And that if he truly cared for you, did you tell him that it wouldn't have been about passion and lust?
I did say that.
Do you remember telling him that you had previously told him to not grab your butt,
Yes.
and especially not in public,
Yes.
but that he persisted in doing it?
Yes.
Did it make you feel like he wasn't really listening to you?
At the time, yes.
You talked to him about words that you didn't use because he didn't like it?
Yes.
Were there certain words that he didn't want you to use?
Yes.
What kind of words?
He did not, I'm sorry. He did not like the words poop or crap or fart.
Okay, I'm sorry that you said that. I'm sorry I asked. But, okay, so he didn't like those words. And did you refrain from saying those words for him?
Yes.
All right. And
Relevance.
Controlling
yeah,
of
did you ask him
language,
not to talk about
maybe.
sex so much?
Yes.
But he did anyway, right?
Yes.
Did you feel like it's like he didn't care about how you felt, how your feelings were?
At the time, yes.
Did you tell him that you thought it was vulgar and unattractive when a man talks about sex as much as he did?
I did say that in the email.
She's answering this very well.
And did you tell him that you know he wants it, meaning sex, but he needs to be patient?
I did say that in the email.
Is that because you believe that he had not had any sex before?
That's correct.
Did you tell him that he'll get his turn someday?
Yes.
Did you tell him that there were times when you felt that he was trying to mold you to be a certain way that he wanted?
Yes.
And that you felt that he was pushing you too much to be something that he wanted you to be?
Yes.
Did you feel that he didn't appreciate you for who you were at the time?
Yes. And I feel like this is all coming out of context. So I'm trying to just answer their questions the best I can, but
Do you need a copy of it? Would that make it better?
yeah.
Okay, sure. May I approach Judge? Yeah. There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks for telling me that, because I didn't know if you would remember. By all means.
I mean,
I'm on
that word is
YouTube.
overused, in my opinion.
Yeah, he wanted to talk about
Did you
vulgar
tell him,
sex, but she couldn't
and I'm on
say
the top
fart.
paragraph, did you tell him that you felt like he wanted you to be happy for him,
Yes.
but that you didn't feel that he reciprocated that to you?
Yes, I did say that in the email.
That he asked for compliments often?
Yes.
That it would make it almost impossible for you to keep giving them and be sincere?
Yes.
Did you talk about your trip to Sedona with him?
Objection relevance.
Overruled, you may answer.
Yes, I did.
And did you feel like he wasn't paying attention to you on that trip?
At times, yes.
Did you tell him that?
Yes.
And did he snap back at you that you should be grateful?
How long are we streaming today? Well, me and Chandler are streaming. Well, we have 20 minutes of this video. Then how long that will take, I don't know.
I don't believe he said you should be grateful. In the email, out of my frustration, I inferred that's what he was saying to me, but I don't believe he ever said those words.
Oh, okay. All right. So, but during the trip to Sedona, did you tell him that he wasn't paying attention to you, or that you were worried he was on the phone too much?
Yes.
Okay. And did he comment back to you that,
Sustained.
Judge, may we approach? Well, actually, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Good question, Jamie. How was he getting any women? Because the more I hear about him, the more he is a 1 on the David rating scale. For you who don't know, David's rating scale goes from 1 to 30, where 1 to 10 is Walmart, the people of Walmart. 11 to 20 is average, and 21 to 30 are the supermodels and movie stars of the world. It's a very interesting and rating scale. But yeah, I don't know how Mormonism works when it comes to dating, but apparently here's a pool of singles, get together, get married, get kids. So I don't know, maybe there aren't that many guys to date. I don't know. Mm.
Well, he had to have something going for him. I mean,
yeah. Well, he got Jodi to leave her longtime boyfriend who bought her a house. But I saw that in the chat on Tuesday or the week before that he claimed he was extremely successful in this multi-level marketing stuff. And yeah,
it sounds manipulative, maybe. The way they're representing him, but I'm not sure if that's accurate.
Yeah, and I don't know.
He wasn't bad looking.
Well, I've only seen crime scene photos of him, but well, the average looking guy.
Like, he had like a nice enough face, and you know, he seemed to have a good body. I mean, he, you know, from what I have gathered.
Yeah.
He had something.
Yeah, apparently, if you could have wife material and side piece at once, so apparently he had something. Must have been a smooth talker. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I've known a lot of guys who, like, they weren't maybe the handsomest, but they had, you know, they had pull, they had sway, they had, you know, it was that personality thing. It was, you know, they were determined. They, you know, they had something going for them. It's not always about looks.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he was kind of lying about some things, so, you know, maybe that contributed too.
Did you talk about a time when you got home from California and he got home from Vegas?
Section relevance.
Approach.
And another sidebar.
Oh my God, so many sidebars.
Yeah, during the prosecution's case in chief, nowhere near enough, but he was just angry all the time. Let's see. along with. Oh, short sidebar.
All right, and when you were talking to him about the time that you met, after you both had just gotten home from out of state, did you tell him about your concerns that you made out too intensely?
Yes,
Did you also tell him that you thought you were part to blame for that?
yes.
Yeah, and all this American dating stuff. Well, I grew up in rural Sweden, where more or less many relationships started with waking up thinking, "Oh, she was nice to talk to too. I guess we have a relationship. Um, I hope we're not related."
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, I feel like with Mormon culture, and I don't know anything about Mormon culture, it seems like the objective is to get married. And so, you find a reasonably, okay looking guy, and he, he has a job, and, he has prospects. Like, yeah, why not date him?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but the general dating, I don't know, it has crept into Swedish culture as well that, oh, we are dating and stuff like that. I have either you're friends or you're exclusive. I'm pretty black and white on that stuff. And yeah.
Well, it seems like he was doing both. It seems like they were all,
Yeah.
exclusive, but also friends.
Yeah. And no sex before marriage. Oh, that really doesn't apply to Swedish standards. What's the Swedish? I'm trying to translate the Swedish. You don't buy the pig from inside the bucket or something like that.
You don't buy the pig from inside the bucket.
You test the product first.
You don't buy the pig from inside the bucket.
Yeah. Something of that sort. I will try to translate it better. I'm still quite hungover from yesterday.
The way that it is. Let's keep it the way it is.
Yeah.
we can look up another translation later, but I prefer you don't buy the pig from inside the bucket. It's very good.
Yeah, it's my way of saying you want to test drive before buying the car. Kick the tires. People who kick the tires, those are the people who really don't know anything about cars, because you learn nothing from kicking the tires.
Well, maybe, yeah, C-Swift is mentioning Shad was inside. We probably should not talk about buckets so close to the business trial. It's a little too early for that for me.
How do you think about that?
I didn't either. This is why I love chat. Chat thinks of things. Everybody in chat, you guys are great. You come up with stuff. You're hilarious, and you notice stuff that I wouldn't notice normally, which is why I really appreciate being able to read chat while this is going on.
Oh
gosh.
Yeah. But when people watch this a year in the future, yeah. The business trial, yeah, that was a bucket and a half. C-Swept Shad was on her bucket list.
Oh, Jesus. C-Swept is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Wifukron about that trial last night, and she was just saying, she was like, I'm so what's the word, like overexposed to stuff like that none of the things that she did like shocked me or bothered me. And the thing is that like so am I, but like I don't know, I can't separate the human element out. So I was sitting watching it, and when I saw her doing the interview, that really threw me, and I was like, Jeff, what did you get us into? What did you do to us, Jeff? Jeff, this is all your fault. So I need a palate cleanser.
Yeah. And here's Jodi Arias with stabby, stabby, shooty, shooty.
It's a little less violent, so I'm happy to be here.
From the pictures from day 6, well, it was she was ridden everywhere.
Did she sneak in through the doggy door? I'm pretty sure that I heard something about that.
They are claiming that she got into the house through the dog door, or sorts, but I don't know. They have
Rumors.
made that claim, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, I better
Because-
just watch and like not put out information that I'm not certain about.
Yeah, but according to the pictures, she was more than welcome in that day, and they did hanky panky and then stabby stabby shooty shooty while he was in the shower.
Yikes.
Did you tell him that you don't think that you have enough to agree upon with each other to be a family?
Objection, relevance.
Approach.
Oh, yeah, that was you don't buy a pig in a sack. That was what that's what read meditations. You don't buy a pig in a sack. That's the translation I was trying to make, but it came out in a bucket.
I like the other one better.
Yeah. I'm going to keep the other one. It sounds better.
It's quite good.
And sidebar. Sidebar. Jesus.
Wait, what year was this trial, Nick?
2012 to 2013.
Oh, wow.
So end of December, then they had a 10-day break, and then they kept with the defense case in chief.
Did you express concern that you didn't share the same values?
Yes.
And did you feel that he shot your values down? The values that you embraced, he would shoot down?
At the time, yes.
And that was before you can even express how you really felt?
Yeah, sometimes, yes.
Did you tell him that it hurt your feelings when he told you that being a teacher is, if that's what you want to do with your life, but I think it sucks?
Objection, relevance, hearsay.
Council Craig.
But that would go to controlling behavior. But yeah. Sidebar.
So her defense was basically, it was self-defense and like that he was abusive to her. Did she claim anything like battered partner syndrome or anything like that, battered woman syndrome?
I don't know. We will hear lots about it during her testimony, but the only thing I've heard is that she claimed self-defense. But that's about it that I've heard.
May continue.
Yeah, I recall her mentioning injuries.
Did you talk to Travis about?
We'll see.
Sorry, what do you say?
Oh no, I was just saying. I recall her mentioning an injury. I think like to her ring finger. I don't know. It's entirely possible that there was abuse in the relationship and that he was abusive to her. It's just that he ended up dead. So I don't know. For some reason, there are parallels I see with the Sarah Boone trial. This is very interesting to watch.
Yeah, but that defense could have worked if she didn't try with it, was never there, and ninjas did it.
Right.
Mm.
Well, we'll see what her. I mean,
Your goal of one.
Ultimately convicted, yes.
Yeah.
She was ultimately convicted, yes.
Yes.
Well,
she
let's
was.
see what her defense did that didn't work. That's an interesting thing to learn from.
Yeah.
To become a teacher.
Yes.
And he didn't support you in that, did he?
Not at that time.
And how did that make you feel?
Not good.
Did it hurt your feelings?
Yeah.
Did you not feel supported by someone that you were supposed to be loved by?
Yes.
And when you wrote this email, it was he gone for a couple of days prior to this email? I'm looking at the second paragraph.
No, I wrote this email. I had seen him that day when I wrote this email.
Okay, but prior to writing the email, I guess, had he been gone for a couple of days that month?
Are you referencing a
The
paragraph?
trip to Havasupai.
Okay, where is that located?
Page 3, second paragraph.
Oh,
I don't know.
interesting. Soul souffle. Her niece knows Travis' family. He was not abusive to Jodi unless you consider breaking up but still having sex abusive. Okay.
Yeah, it's always challenging when men are victims. They're always going to be that. There's always, you can always claim, especially with any relationship, really, it doesn't matter the gender, that the person was abusive to you. It's very hard to prove without police reports, without witnesses. It's, you know, it's a strong defense in some cases, and it's a weak defense in others.
Yeah. And we will hear lots about battered battered wife syndrome in the Sarah Boone trial when that comes up.
Oh, yeah.
If she finds an expert that actually can testify to it.
Oh, she did. There is an expert who already has signed on. The problem was the expert was not being paid her regular rate, which is, I think, part of the reason why the trial was delayed. But we have an expert, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if that was like right before the email or when in relation to this email it was, but yes, he did go on a trip.
Okay, that's all I was asking.
Okay.
That he had been away for 4 days?
Yes.
Okay. And did that give you time to think, being apart from him?
Yes.
Did you tell him that you had been stressed out about certain things, but he didn't seem to be interested in your problems?
Third
paragraph.
Third paragraph. Yes, I did.
And did that hurt your feelings?
Yes.
Hey, Captain, have fun. Rested? I'm going back to bed after this. Let's just say that.
Sounds great.
Did you tell him that he overreacted about a lot of things? Having to do with your trip, you say? His trip?
Yes, in regards to his Havasupai trip, yes.
Okay, and what did you mean by that?
I don't remember what happened on his trip exactly, but I think just one thing after another went wrong. I don't recall the specific instance, but something like they had car troubles and then this happened and so said, you know, something about the trip not being good or something. And so it was just a lot of snowball effect. His trip didn't go well, I suppose.
Okay. And so in the email, are you telling him that you thought he was overreacting to those things going wrong with his trip?
Yes.
And that when he overreacted, that was not attractive to you?
Yes.
And then in bold letters, you said that he didn't tell you that Jodi went with him on that trip, right?
Correct.
Did you suspect it?
Yes.
And because you suspected, did you ask him?
I don't know. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know if I asked specifically if Jodi was going, but I know I asked, who's going on the trip with you?
Okay. He didn't tell you, Jodi.
Correct.
And so because he didn't tell you that Jodi was going on the trip, you trusted that she wasn't going.
Correct.
Did you feel that he intentionally hid it from you, that she was on the trip?
Yes.
Did you tell him that you thought he was being selfish when he wanted to have conversations with you late at night and you were too tired to talk?
Yes, I did say that at the time.
Did you tell him that you thought that he was ignoring some of your phone calls?
Yeah, at one instance, yes.
Do you remember, was he on the trip at the time that he was ignoring your calls? Do you know what that refers to?
No, it was, we were going to go on a camping trip with our singles ward, and I was with the friends that we were going to be driving up with, and he was late, and we tried calling to see what was going on, and he didn't answer phone calls.
Okay. Did you talk to him about that he got upset with you because you wouldn't let him lay on you when he was car sick?
When I was car sick?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah,
when you
I
were car sick.
wasn't feeling well, and he wanted to like cuddle in the car, and I wasn't feeling well, and yeah.
And did he get upset about that?
Yeah.
And did you tell him that you thought that his frustration was visible and immature?
Yes.
And did you tell him that you didn't feel that you deserved to be treated that way?
Yes.
And that behavior seemed to continue throughout the rest of the camp out?
Yes.
And then it seems that, did you go over to his house on a Saturday where you actually got along? Did you talk about that?
Yes, I talked about that in the email.
Okay. And you felt that things were better between the two of you?
Yes.
But then did you have some more time to think about it? Did you tell him that you had more time to think about it?
Yes, I told him that in the email.
Okay. Did you tell him that you were sick of hearing about Jodi Arias?
Yes.
And when he talked about Jodi often enough, is that when you began to suspect that he was still seeing her?
I don't recall when.
Okay, did you tell him that you were sick of hearing about her?
Yes.
Okay, and then did you tell him that that's when you began to suspect?
Yeah, it's quoted there in the email, yes.
Okay, and that he told you nothing was going on,
Yes.
but something inside of you felt otherwise?
Yes, and that something inside of me was actually his roommate had told me.
Oh,
And I had promised his roommate that I would not say anything because his roommate was afraid he might have a bad interaction with Travis at the time, just a fight or something.
okay. So you didn't want to give up the roommate. That's how you knew?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you upset telling him that what woman would hold on so long after without any sense of reassurance?
Yes.
Were you talking about Jodi?
I think I was talking about both of us.
Oh, okay. And did you tell him that if he really cared about you, that he would tell Jodi to back off?
Yes.
And regardless of their past?
Yes.
Did you tell him that you feel you can't trust him anymore?
Yes, at that time I did say that.
And that you felt that at this point that your relationship could go no further?
Yes.
An hour and 44 minutes, and now I realized I forgot
Did
the
you
banner.
tell him that to please not to respond?
Yes.
Did you tell him that you felt cheated and lied to?
Yes.
And did you tell him that you didn't wish to hear anything more?
Yes.
Now, this was in September of 2007, right?
Yes.
But when did you actually have the final breakup between you and Travis?
February, mid to late February of 2008.
So after this email, did you still continue to talk with him?
Yes,
And was that by texting?
it was all of the above.
Oh, okay, texting, calling, and
Emailing, instant message, in person.
Okay, so did you continue to see him then?
Yes,
Were you separated at all for any period of time after this email?
yes.
How long?
I don't know, maybe a couple weeks.
Okay, and during that couple weeks separation, did you have any contact with him at all?
I'm not sure.
All right, and then eventually, did he start contacting you?
Yes,
And did he feel badly about the breakup?
yes.
And did you feel that he was kind of clingy to you?
I would interpret it more as he was trying to show that he cared and that he wanted to talk about the things that I had mentioned here. And at least if we couldn't date any longer, he would be okay with that as long as he could address some of these issues that I said out of anger.
Okay. Do you have any idea about how long it took you to write this email?
No.
And after you sent this email, did you contact him at all the next day or anything like that?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Okay. Did you ever contact him shortly after this email to say, I'm sorry, I take it all back?
No, but when we had spoken about it, I felt these issues were all resolved.
Okay. And so once you felt the issues were resolved, is that when you started dating again?
Yes.
And it was about a couple of weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. And so I guess based on the timing of this email, then we would be into what, October or November? That you started dating again?
Probably October.
Okay. And just so I have timeline-wise, what breakup is this?
This is the first.
This is the first one,
Yeah.
okay. And so by October, November, you're back together again, is that right?
Yeah, October.
October, okay. And then in December, is that when you have the second breakup?
Yeah, late November or early December.
Okay. And is that second breakup because he was too serious with you?
Yeah, he wanted marriage and I did not.
Okay. And how long when you broke up was it December that you broke up then?
Late November or early December. I'm not
sorry,
sure.
I'm sorry, I keep getting that. All right, so late November or early December. Were you separated for any period of time?
I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know.
Would it have been as long as the first breakup separation?
I don't think so. Neither of us were out of town during that time, I don't think.
Okay. What do you mean neither of us were out of town?
Like for the first breakup, shortly after, he had gone on a trip somewhere, I'm not sure where, and I had gone somewhere with my sister and our roommate. So I know we were separated as far as at least a state apart for that time. So
Okay.
I'm not sure as far as the second breakup.
Oh, okay. With the second breakup, do you know if you had maintained any kind of separation by way of text messages and emails?
I don't think so.
Okay. So did he continue to text with you?
Yeah, but it was definitely reciprocated by me. We still loved each other. It was just we were in different places.
Right. Okay. And so both.
We still loved each other. I wouldn't count on that.
No, I don't think she can speak to his state of mind. She can speak to her
Yeah.
state of mind. She could say, I still loved him. Or it felt like we still loved each other, or he gave me the impression that he loved me as much as I loved him. But I mean,
Yeah.
This poor girl, I feel really sorry for her. So there might be some things that she has not caught up on cognitively.
Yeah, she probably haven't heard anything from this trial at all. I wonder if she will maintain that way of thinking after her testimony when she can actually see and hear. the rest of the trial.
Mhm.
You were talking to each other.
Yes.
And when was the final breakup?
Mid to late February
Of 2008.
of 2008, yes.
Okay. And did you do the final breakup?
That was somewhat more mutual.
Okay. Judge, this might be a good time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take the noon recess at this time. Please be back in the designated area at 1:25. Actually, now that you have your key cards, you can let yourself back into the jury room. Just be back there by 1:25. Remember the admonition. Are there any questions? Have a nice lunch. You are excused.
Okay, that was day 11, part 1. Whew. Well, what did we learn today? Travis was a bit of a player. All the women he dated seems to have the same thought that, oh, he was a virgin.
He knew how to play the game.
Believe that, yeah. I do believe that was what he told Jodi as well. But that didn't stop them from doing the hanky-panky and him making her his 3-hole wonder. And for those who wonder, nicotine pouches, don't start with it. It's addictive, and I keep doing it. Yeah.
Are you quitting smoking?
So, what?
Are you quitting smoking?
I quit smoking cigarettes when I was 27, so that's a long time ago. I do have my cigars still that I smoke once in a while.
I see.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, that was
So
it was pretty good. You know, as far as the questioning went, I think they did kind of establish a couple of things about, you know, maybe he was a little controlling. He was kind of duplicitous. He was definitely manipulative. You know, it seems as though there were emails to substantiate that he kind of, you know, tricked this other girl into thinking that she was, you know, his one and only, and lied to her about a number of things, including his sexual proclivity, claiming to have a lack thereof, but really being very so it's strange to call a man promiscuous, but like he was, you know, kind of a man whore, and he, you know, it sounds like he at least lied to one. Well, he at least lied to 2 women. So
yeah, at least that we know of, and this was just during the Jodi time that he had one other. But if he was still single at 28, that implies that he had been in that dating pool for 10 years. So yeah.
right, which could indicate like some emotional immaturity, or maybe it was just, you know, he just didn't want to get married. He wanted to, you know, sleep around and take advantage of women. And, you know, it's frustrating because, you know, this man, he's the victim. Obviously, he was murdered, and it feels bad to, you know, disparage him. But, you know, just because people die, it does not mean that it, you know, absolves them of all of their past behavior. So it's
yes.
been about a decade ago.
Yeah, it's a decade old. It's the infamous Jodi Arias trial. And infamous both in the way she ended him and the photos that was entered into evidence. Hey, look at that.
Hello.
Oh, hey, David. David's with us. Hooray.
Yay. Now you can say...
all the way up, and I tried to comment where I could, but this was a really good witness. That's why I wanted to pop in and say. For the defense, I thought at the end of the day, the direct at least, was a really good, it's a good, decent, it's not a winning witness, right? We're not going to win the case with this, but you're starting to chip away at that good guy image of the victim. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like, so I wanted to understand, David, so like, is the defense essentially, you know, portraying Travis as you know, abusive to Jodi, because that was kind of my understanding.
Yeah, he's abusive. He's a player. He manipulates women and things like that. That's the characteristic of Travis that they're trying to set up. And then they are then going to go into because no one saw the quote abuse that Jodi claims to have suffered by Travis. So you have to set up all this background to essentially try to lay the groundwork for, he was abusive. Well, how can we believe her? Well, here's all this other ancillary evidence that he was a player and things like that. And that's what I think they're starting to do here finally.
Yeah.
So, I think that was good.
But if she had, imagine she started off with self-defense and not the I wasn't there, ninjas did it stuff. Would that have maybe worked? What do you think, David?
I'm sorry, I was reading Eris's chat. I'm sorry, say that again.
Well, if Jodi hadn't started off with I was never there, ninjas did it, would this defense had more bearing?
I think she could have. I still think her best defense was the argument that she was never there. I think that might have been her best defense, and she should have stuck with that. Because I don't know. In today's age, I feel like you can argue away the timestamps on the images, right? Because that's the only thing that connects her there. And say, well, the date and time was set wrong in the camera. I don't know what to tell you. It wasn't like this camera automatically uploaded through a satellite, clock or something. It had to have been set. And so
But when she said she was there, though, she kind of throws that out the window a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Once she says that. So going into the defense based off of everything that she said, she could have stuck with the ninjas did it argument, which is interesting because I hopped on a few panels and talked about the Idaho murder case. And I said, what's interesting is that the one roommate that survived, they're not questioning her. But imagine it was Jodi Arias. All of a sudden, it's not believable. Oh, you're telling me that people showed up, murdered Travis, and left you alive. And this girl is saying the exact same thing about the Idaho murders. Somebody showed up, killed everyone else in the house, and left her alive. Really? Is that credible? Apparently it is for them.
Well, there's a challenge with the Idaho case because, first of all, we don't know whether they're questioning her or not because everything's under seal. And so it's quite possible that she, has been questioned substantially, but we don't really know about it. Second of all, she claimed to have seen him, I believe, from a darkened room. So it's possible that he didn't see her or wasn't aware of her in the house.
Maybe.
I'm not sure exactly what happened, but we'll find out in October.
Well, but this is based off of the affidavit that's been or the indictment that's been filed, this woman's statements. That's how we know this. And
that was in the probable cause affidavit.
Yes.
Within two roommates died in Idaho.
Well, anyway, I'm just using it as an example. As potentially, Arias could have still gone with the he was attacked by somebody, and you could have still used this witness and this email to say, look, he was a player. He was playing all kinds of women. Who knows what their revenge plans were? You still could have done that. I don't know if it would have worked. But you still have to argue away the timestamps, right? So you'd have to argue away the timestamps on the camera.
Well, not really, because the only thing they have that claims, except
she talked too much. She said it was her pants.
Yeah,
that was the problem. All right, so
she didn't lawyer up.
She said those were her pants.
Yeah.
Well, she said I have pants like that, but those aren't mine. I guess is what she technically said.
More or less, had she lawyered up from the very beginning, she might have walked. She might have walked.
Yeah.
My standard advice now from the show business trial and moving forward is, ladies, don't kill your boyfriends. Don't chop them up, don't shoot them, don't stab them. But if you do, don't be stupid enough to talk to the police. Get a lawyer. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that seems to be advice that a lot of women in really high profile cases don't seem to take. Sarah Boone didn't take that advice. Jodi Arias wouldn't take that advice. All they had to do was listen to me. But apparently,
you're not even a lawyer, and you know this, right?
God, it's
but remember the background here is first that she took the pictures, then she failed to take the camera with her. They found the pictures, but also she called the police twice at least voluntarily. And then when she was arrested, she spent hours talking to them.
Yeah, she insinuated herself into the case. She made herself interesting to the police who were investigating. So that's not very smart.
So there's a lot of dumb things she did.
Just because you did it, that doesn't mean you're guilty.
Well, it's very true, Tweety. It's very true. The state has a burden.
Yeah. And yeah, that's about it. I need to get back to bed. And,
yeah, you have the dream team here, David. You have Nicholas with a heavy hangover. You have me with a migraine. We're doing awesome. We're having a fantastic time.
You know what? I feel like that's probably more appropriate for Jodi Arias.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Well, I just want to pop in and say hi to everybody in the chat too. Sorry I wasn't able to join for the whole thing, but at least I
Thanks
could
for
join
making
for
an
the
appearance. It's always lovely to see you.
end.
Yeah, and everybody get over to Chandler's channel and watch this stream again. Get her the hours she needs to get monetized. How's my hangover? Oh, it's there. Gallon of orange juice, ibuprofen, coffee, and pickles. Yeah, that's what I'm doing today.
Stream is brought to you by ibuprofen. I like that.
Yep. Oh my god, in a major freaking way. Nick and I both.
Yeah.
I love that. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And
so
we're incentivized to rewatch Chandler. How many more watch hours do you need?
Oh gosh, let me check. I'm getting there. I'm at 2,000 something. Let me see. I'm going to look at the numbers right now. I'm at 2,174 watch hours.
Okay, so you're about you're a little over halfway.
No, she only needs 3,000. It's euros
right, they
for
lowered
US.
it. Okay, you're almost there then. Oh, we could get you that. Everyone, tonight.
I need 826.
Start a Chandler stream, which I have to imagine is going to involve me in some way, because I think I'm only in all of her streams.
You are on all of my streams, David.
But go to sleep with Chandler and I softly whispering into your ear. And just let it play, you know?
Well, you have a lovely speaking voice, and I've been told that I have a rather nice speaking voice, so I think that would be a good way to fall asleep.
I fall asleep to my voice in my head every night.
I'm also falling asleep to the voices in my head.
Well, everybody who's watching who's not already subscribed to MLS Law or Nicholas Starr, please do that right now. Subscribe to both of them, like this video on both of their channels, and hit that notification bell.
Yeah, and I'm just going to go into and see if I can send. Oh, I could send everybody to you in some way. Do you have something coming up?
Me?
Chandler? Yeah.
I do, but I don't have a date set yet. I have a planned stream that I'm going to do with Flux, Jessica Reloaded, and Waifu Cron, where we're going to talk about why feminism is ridiculous and why it should be gotten rid of. There's a little bit more of a cross title, but it's a working title. I'm figuring it out. So that's coming up, but we have to schedule and coordinate because Flux goes to bed very early, so we all want Flux to join. So I will let you all know when we're going to do that, and I do have upcoming streams. I will keep you posted. I'm fighting through these migraines, so once I feel a little better, I will definitely be streaming a lot more.
And if you ever wanted to know anything about me, if you're new to me, if you're new to MLS or anything like that, or if you're just curious and depraved like Jamie is, I am going to be interviewed by Wendy H. Monday evening, 6:30, I believe, our time. Wendy H. is an OG member, which means that she gets to collaborate on videos. And for this month, she decided that she wanted to interview me. I have no idea what the questions are, but it should be fun. So 6:30 Eastern, Monday.
Yeah, and I saw that Sal is doing a stream after we end here, so I'll be sending you all over. Well, the people watching me on my channel will be sent to Sal.
If someone could link to Sal's stream in the chat, because I am unable to redirect at the moment because I'm not in front of my computer.
Hold on, I will check here.
So at least you guys can head over there. And Rabbit just pinned the link, or not pinned, posted the link for my interview on Monday with Wendy H. So that'll be fun. Tune in. First question, Dave Live.
Yeah, and I'll pop it into Chandler's as well.
All right.
There is the Sal's stream. You who are watching at my channel will be sent there. The rest has to go there. And when you are done there, go to Chandler's channel and watch everything she's ever done and like it. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks, you
Yeah.
guys. Thank you, everybody who went, and watched on my channel and watched on Nick and David's. And you guys, I really appreciate both of you for encouraging everybody to watch my stuff, because that would be great if I could get monetized. I would love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everybody, see you next time, and have a great day.
Have a good one.
Bye.